Hello everyone, this is Lindsay. Welcome back to my channel. And well, here we go. A whole bunch of fun things to look at today. Some journals, some supplies, as always, inspiration. Well, where do we start? Let's start with some wallpaper. So I've finally separated some wallpaper into some new packs. It's been a long time since I've added any wallpaper to Lindsay's supplies. And I've had these together, but I've just needed to cut them down. So I finally got to that. I do have one little set of wallpaper double tags that are really fun. They're 3.5 by 6.5 or 6, I think. So those are just fun for wallpaper base. I have two sets of Luxe Gray. These are 7 by 14 folded in half. Really nice and pretty for that glam look. And then I have a set called Whimsical Childhood, 11 by 14 folded in half, and there's 12 of them. So these are very sweet, and they would be perfect for fairy journals or just bright pops of color. There's even some fish in ocean. And then I have Childhood Fun, and these would pair really well with Whimsical Childhood. Silver Study. There's 3 of the neutrals and then 2 of like these bookshelves. 2 sets of nice neutrals, 6 by 18. Gorgeous. Oh, these would be so pretty for pockets. Smaller journals, like you could do a 4 by 6 journal and then have leftovers. I have 2 of Sophisticated Blue. I love this one, and there's texture to it. And there's hints of blue. There's 2 of that. 1 of Cats and Dog Borders. These are wallpaper borders, and they are kitties and puppies, and they're really, really cute. So there's that one. 13 Girl Borders. So these are all kind of girly themed. There's teddy bears, ladybugs, dancing fairies in different colors, bright flowers, patchwork, and more teddy bears and some pink ocean ones. I have 8 boy borders, so like animals in trucks, cars, trains, construction, and sailboats. And then I have 6 frog borders. So it's these adorable frogs in different color schemes, and then 2 coordinating stripe ones. So these could be really fun. 3 classic blacks. These are really classy. So these would make gorgeous journal covers. These are 11 by 18. They're big. And then pastel purples. There's 5 there. Very light purple. Gorgeous, gorgeous patterns. So quite a few, but it was time to add more for sure. Next, I'm just going to mention that for some reason, this journal by Tammy, this is a June journal. For some reason, there was a glitch and this one didn't get sold. So this is going to be added back to the marketplace. I flipped through it before, so I'm not going to be flipping through it again, just letting you know that it is available. And we are going to look at a July challenge journal from Tammy. This is called Round the World in 80 Days Journal Folio. Have fun exploring all the pockets, tucks, and flips. This folio journal contains 3 embellished cardstock journals for a total of 80 plus pages and tons of ephemera. And she's used Full of Hot Air, button cards, and the Rose Garden from my shop. So let's take a peek here. Okay, so what a cute folio. So love it. Look at all that ephemera. I hope you can see it all. There's just so many pieces from Full of Hot Air and the Rose Garden. And then back here as well. And then here's the journals. Look at that. Life was meant for great adventure. So pretty. Does this continue to open? I am not sure, so let's take a look. Okay. Oh no, that opens there. Beautiful. There's so many tucks and flips. I always miss them, but I think there's more. I just don't know how to get to it. Wait, all right, so let's flip this way. Flip, flip. Maybe there's not another flip. Okay. Is there a pocket? Oh, okay, it's a top-loading pocket. There's another journal in here. Look at this one. Right. How so pretty. I love what she did using the full of hot air. And the around the world in 80 days is such a perfect. I thought she said there were, no, 2 journals. Okay. So amazing. I love this folio journal. And now I got to figure out how to close it again. If you love flips and tucks, this is for you. So much fun. Okay, so Around the World in 80 Days from Tammy. That's a July challenge journal. We have another July challenge journal from Cindy. And that is beautiful fabric. This is a small journal. There's a little pink key. Okay. I love the textured cardstock on the inside. The Rose Garden, rose quotes, and floral buttoned journal labels. So how pretty is this little sweet thing? That's the Rose Garden. She has ephemera and pockets. Look at how pretty this is. These are the button labeled botanicals. You can get in my shop as well. So pretty. I love what she's done here. This is a perfect little purse journal to carry with you, and it's so pretty. So this is from Cindy. It's a July challenge journal. Okay, put that over there. And then we have some more challenge journals from Bobby. Bobby Rosca. Oh, and I'm dropping my lights are falling over. Her work is always so amazing. I love how she patches everything together. So junky in a good way. So pretty. Look at the beads. Gotta look at the back because it's just as amazing as the front. And you can see some of the Rose Garden paper pack in here. So this is called Sweet and Breezy. She's used full of hot air, button botanicals, and garden roses. Love it. It's nice to see her style. Not very many people that I come across actually do her style of just grunge. Like, it's a different kind of a grunge. It's not the inked up grunge. It's the, I don't know the right words. I love how she just, it's like a random grunge, but it looks like it was meant to be. It's like, don't be afraid to experiment, to try all sorts of different things in your journals. Just really make them an extension and a creative expression of yourself. Mix colors you've never thought of mixing before. Try new color palettes. Buy digitals from a store you've never bought from before and add them in with old ones. See what you can come up with. That is so pretty. And this one, oh, it's huge. So pretty. And I don't know where these go. We've lost a paper clip, so I'm just going to stick it on here. And then this came off of somewhere. I'm not going to try to put that back on. I'll find a use for that. And then this looks like it's a magnet or something, but I don't know if it's supposed to be somewhere. I don't know. Maybe, maybe not. Anyway, look at the collaging of these blacks with the light blues, the different fabrics. It's chunky. Oh, feels so good. Look at like the faux fur. All of these beaded and buttons, and look at the key. So cool. It looks like this might be a tie that she repurposed. Let's see if we can look inside of it. So this is called Windblower's Daughter. And she wrote a little story filled with vintage ads. Flower on the front is just for fun. She used magnetic. Okay. Oh, okay. So there's the magnet. And I'm guessing, will it, there we go. Just a little magnetic flower. You could put that on your fridge, or you could leave it on the journal. Just look at all of her, it's like a collector's journal. So there's buttons and fabrics and papers, and it's just like she has put everything in here. There's the rose garden, and it just looks loved and worn and aged, different ads. Like there's a whole story behind it. 1927. So fun. I remember when Nick the Booksmith would make journals, and then they would have stories to them, and we would go on an adventure through the journal while she would show it off. I miss those videos and those times. It was so amazing to watch that, and it's fun to see when people have a story. Like she said, this was a shipbuilder's daughter, and then her collections. And my light is falling again. Please stay up, light. I usually have it screwed down, but I was using it in the other room yesterday, and so I've just propped it back up. Look at that. Just look at how the scrappy goodness. You could put that anywhere. The heart. So neat. An old cabinet card. Sorts of jewelry dangles and tassels. There's the little hot air balloon theme there. So pretty. I think those might have been one of Tammy's. Not sure. So pretty. I love the fabric. Oh, this one is crazy in a good way, but I mean, like, I've never seen anything quite like it. So neat. So she made that one for us, and she also made this one. Look at those pretty dangles. So pretty. It says Liberty and Independence Forever. This could be like a summer journal and kind of a July 4th. Look at that. Look at how pretty that is. Of course, if you didn't want it to be maybe July 4th themed, you could put your favorite floral or image over this and use it at another time. So this is called Modern Americana. Her take on America. So nice. Full of hot air, rose garden, button botanicals. This is cool. It's like, I don't know what's in there, like a padded envelope or something. It feels really neat. And then I just love the hints of the red, white, and blue all throughout. Like, this is her story of America and what America means to her. It's just an Americana, like a shabby Americana. So pretty. Look at the little tassels. Here's like the full of hot air. Love the use of the blues and the reds. Gorgeous pages. So much to this. I'm not even, pulling everything out. There'll be so much for you to go through and experience and explore. So pretty. And the final one she made, look at this cover. There's so much dimension to it. There's a frame, and you can see like the lady, she's kind of popped up. And there's a whole bunch of different cutouts and stitches, fabrics, dangles, trims, velvet. Look at the moth over the spine. Look at the back. It's collaged. Like, you have your main image from the kit, Full of Hot Air, and then she's done cutting out and collaging all around the edges. There's dangles here at the bottom, and there's a key. Look at the edging. Look at that. Oh, so amazing. And Scrappy. So it's called Anna. Fabric and collaged cover, fabric limed. lined. This book I dreamt about. This journal is just that. I wanted a slightly dark but elegant, rich journal. Favorite kind of art. Things or ideas come to you in strange ways. I went with it, and wow, I could go on and on. I will let her show you. Oh, so cool. Oh. I mean, she is living and breathing making this journal. You can feel it through the pages. This is not just a journal. This is a story. This is a snippet of her life and creativity. Truly, truly amazing. Oh, I wish you could feel the textures and see the, like, the bleeding of the inks, and the, only so much can actually show on screen. This is so unique. It really encourages me to go out of my comfort zone more and more with crafting, trying new things. So pretty. Look at that. Dangling moth. Oh. Beautiful fabric. This is a treasure. Thank you so much, Bobby. I think you get more incredible every month when you send in journals. I'm just blown away. So that's what we have for challenge journals, but I have a few things that I've added. And I'll start out with these. I'll take one out of the bag because they're all the same pretty much. So I lost my creative mojo for a half a day. And while I was doing other things, I didn't know what I should create next. I really didn't. Like, I had finished, and I'll show you in a minute, I finished some budget junk journals that I'll show in a minute, and I didn't know what projects to do next. So I pulled out my trusty Pinterest and one of my boards of ideas, and there were inked book page leaves. I thought that was an incredible idea. So I made it my own, and I pulled out my dies. That I pulled out leaves and I pulled out feathers. So each one, and there's 3 different ones, they all have 20 die cuts, and they're a mixture of feathers and leaves. And I used distress inks in moss green, orange pumpkin, persimmon, and I think it's ground espresso or gathered twigs. Gathered twigs, I think it was. I used that Tim Holtz die, the one with the slits in it, but I used like this grass cloth wallpaper to cut it out of so it has texture. Backed it with orange cardstock, and then these are all just slipped in there. There are feathers and leaves, different kinds, and they're all inked up. And I used a book for the pages called The Living Garden, and it already had kind of a nice patina to it, so it's all like garden nature themed, but there's 20 inked fall type leaves. I can't believe that we're already preparing for fall, even though it's the middle of August. So wow. And so I thought I'd make these for you. I thought that either you could pull out all of the feathers and leaves and use them in your fall crafting, or you could glue this down and have all the leaves and feathers in there somewhere in a book. So I made like an orange label for each one, and then each one has a word. One says blessings, one says grateful, one says explore, but they're all pretty much the same. So you will get a random one. These are in Lindsay's Handmade. And then if you love these words, over on my Facebook group, Nevermore Creations, Junk Journals and Friends, I have this as a freebie. I wrote out a whole page of like fall-ish words. And so I just cut them out, inked them, and glued them on. So there's 3 of those. That was fun. So I promised I'd show you the budget journals. These are grungy birds, and there's 5 of them. So when I make a budget journal, I try to make decisions that keep the cost down. These are not embellished. They are writing journals, or of course you could embellish them up. There's 48 pages in each journal. They're approximately a 9x6. And they have vintage bird images from a vintage bird book. The cardstock is just kind of a grungy, plain ish cardstock. It's stitched around with a lavender thread. And then the front, I've used Lindy's Stamp Gang Magicals just to kind of grunge it up and give like this grungy, watery, oldish patina texture. And then there's some Rocky Mountain, I think they're Rocky Mountain Wildflower book pages, brown cardstock, and then a vintage, this is actually a vintage image from a book from the 60s. And then they're lined with wallpaper. And then there's 48 pages. I'm only going to flip through one. They're extremely similar on the inside. They all have 5 pages from Ink Saver Insect Garden. You can get this in my shop digitally. And they're ink savers. It's all black, just on a white background. It saves ink, or you can just use a black and white printer. And these gorgeous images. And this says, nature does not hurry, yet everything is accomplished. I used a pastel yellow spray and a Tattered Angels Glimmer Mist in the color Tin Can, just to add splotches of color. You can see the splotches bled through to the other side, which I think is really neat. And of course, you can stencil and turn it into anything you want. Each journal also has 3 tan pages. These are just tan 20-pound copy paper. And I've cut out images from the vintage book. I've done stenciling. Each journal has 2 pages from the vintage bird book. This one says, never, no, never did nature say one thing and wisdom another. And then each one has 2 pages from Birds and Bees. It's one of my digital kits. You can also get it printed. And then I backed it on lined paper from Seneca Pond Crafts. So there is a difference. Each journal has 2 different ones of these, but they're all from the same kit, so very similar. And then some of the tan pages have some of the ephemera from the Birds and Bees kit glued on just as kind of an embellishment. So insects, birds, bees, that's the whole theme. And then it is stitched, machine stitched down the middle in 2 wavy lines. And I just thought that was kind of neat and different. And then really grunged up here on the spine. It holds it really well. And you can do that with 48 pages. It's 12 sheets. All my life through, the new sights of nature made me rejoice like a child. Very nature themed. You know, that's my favorite type. To sit in the shade on a fine day and look upon verdure is the most perfect refreshment. Love that butterfly and flower. So it is just meant to be less expensive, but very beautiful to look at. You can purchase it and you can just make it whatever you want it to be. So they are so similar. Here's another one. Again, the pages are like pretty much identical. And then there's the yellow one. So pretty. Get this one. And this one. So pretty. So I'll probably just list one and then you will get a random one because they're so similar. You really can't tell the difference between them. There's just a few differences in the birds and stuff. So these are budget junk journals. There's 5 of those. I found this at a thrift store and I thought somebody would want it. I want to say it's like a curtain or a table runner or something like that. But look at that yummy tan color and the lace. So I thought somebody would love to cut this up and use it for journals. I haven't cut anything off of it. I'm selling the whole piece. So I thought that would be fun. I think it's some kind of a table runner. And then I have a few books. Excuse me. This one I've never heard of before. It is so cute. It's called Morgan and You. And it has unicorns in it. And it is a vintage book. It's from the 80s. But look at some of these images. The little lamb and the unicorn. I mean, can you imagine those in a junk journal? I just thought that they were the sweetest thing. So there's that one. And then I have Winnie the Pooh's ABCs. Look at how cute these are. And then I have a childcraft book. This is called The Green Kingdom. And this is a 1970s childcraft. And so the Green Kingdom, this would be pretty much nature themed. Look at how beautiful. Look at how gorgeous these images are. So look at the little chipmunks. And then I found this one, The Magic Merry-Go-Round. This is a vintage book, but look at these carousel images. This is 1973. These pages are thick. And they're all like carousel themed. And this whole story is really sweet. So I thought that would be really cute in a journal. And then I found a vintage Walt Disney Animals and Their Babies. This is from the early 80s. And look at some of these nature images. So pretty. And then there's little like Jungle Book images, and then there's real animals. So that was cute. And then I found Thumper's Little Sisters, which is from 1980s as well. How cute are those sweet pictures? So that's all that I have today, but it was fun. I'll see you all again on Monday, taking the weekend off, and I'll see you on Monday with more wonderful items and more inspiration. I hope you'll subscribe if you have not and give this video a thumbs up, and I will see all of you next time.